Timestamp is August 1st. It's my second entry, I guess, for the day. Technically, it's a little after 10 p.m. Health check, I feel okay. We went to George today. I mowed the lawn, got the section done that I didn't get done the other day. I'm exhausted. I only got like 4 hours sleep. Um, and the difference with the lawns where I'd mowed today and where I'd mowed 3 days ago was significant because I pretty much gave the lawn like a crew cut. It had already grown like 3 or 4 inches. Florida summers, man. So I went ahead, and because I only had basically one battery charge to work with, but it wasn't really high, I went ahead and zipped through the entire front lawn again just to try and make it even. And the battery survived. It started to choke towards the end, but I was able to actually get it done, which made me happy. Retrieved 5 boxes of eBay. We've got like 3 or 4 more. These are things that are already listed on mine or on Pix's, so we want to get them here so that there's not the frantic emergency, oh my god, you sold something but it's at the other house, because we've already had that happen a few times, which can be pretty annoying. I mean, it's great that we're selling stuff, but it's like, and that one's not here. So we got to go over there. Hope we can find it. Because we do have a labeling system with them. We do typically know what box has what stuff, but we sometimes get it wrong or stuff gets misplaced. I've had to cancel a couple things over the past 6 months because of that, which is really annoying. When you sell something and then you can't find it to ship it, and you got to cancel it because they paid for it. They either get the money back or they get the thing. I'm a little bummed. I grabbed some of my books, some of the books that are a little bit more precious to me. My 3 investigators are, they're silver-fished. I'm pretty annoyed by that. Not at anyone other than, insects. When I get some of the resources that I'm going to be getting, I'm probably going to start like recollecting them, so to speak. I have, but they're pretty messed up. Like 30 or 35. The old school, the larger, what they call the keyhole, because the design on the binder kind of looks like a keyhole, round with the like triangle kind of thing. It's hard to explain. I'm bummed about that. I've been getting those since I was a kid. I did read Hardy Boys back in the day, but when I came across 3 Investigators, that became my go-to. Like, they're a quick read now, but they're still fun. But that became my like adolescent, back in the day. Boys read Hardy Boys, girls read Nancy Drew. It was a thing. And there were some other series out there that were acceptable entries, whatnot. But yeah, I really got into the 3 Investigator series, and that hurts. It hurts, But 2 other things that I did get off my bookshelf were. Will that work? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I've got a whole bunch of the Doctor Who novelizations. Some of these are a little worse for wear, which makes me upset too, but not nearly like the 3 Investigators. But this one does bum me out. My Genesis of the Dialects, you can see where something got yummy with it. I used to take these to the conventions with me to get autographs. So that's Ian Marter, who was, I don't actually know if he's still alive or not, but it was Harry Sullivan, the Navy doctor with unit that was with the Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane for a while. That was a pretty appropriate book to have him autograph Genesis of the Daleks. One of the best Tom Bakers, and he and Sarah Jane were the companions in that. And I remember on one occasion, I didn't have a lot with me, and the con had a huge amount of people. So I figured the 3 doctors, the 5 doctors would have been better, but the 3 doctors is what I had. So I was getting this autographed by anyone and everyone. Got John Levine, who I'm pretty sure that's Benton. Yeah. This one makes me incredibly happy. That right there. That is Nicholas Courtney. I got to meet the Brigadier. Yeah. John Nathan Turner, who would autograph anything, pretty much. He was crazy. Autograph my butt, okay, Sharpie. He was nuts. Which made him a great producer for Doctor Who, frankly. I think it's Gary Davis, who did a lot of writing for them. It's, I think, Richard Mathis. I want to say he's the. I want to say he was the other voicer for K9. And I've got some other autographs in here too. Oh yeah. Colin Baker, because I got to meet the 6th Doctor. The 6th Doctor was in full swing in England at the time, but we were having a hard time getting anything past Peter Davison here. It was a very different time to live in. There was no streaming, there was none of that. So the first, I don't know if it was the first 6th Doctor episode I saw. It might be, actually. At the con, because, Comic-Con, stuff like that. This is a Doctor Who convention back in, 87, 88. I mean, they might have been filming Sylvester McCoy at that point. And we still hadn't gotten Colin Baker. I think that's the case, actually. I think that's actually where we were historically. But just like other conventions, they did screenings of episodes. They, find some old ones from the archives that you're never going to find anywhere and show those. On this occasion, we got to see the 2 Doctors, which was Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor, and Patrick Troughton, the 2nd Doctor. It was a really neat, time overlap thing that they did. And it was one of the last things Patrick Troughton did before, we lost him. He was an old man. So I got to see that. It was, I think, at the Tampa Theater. I think they did a couple of, and you can look it up online, the Tampa Theater. Very cool, old school movie house. Has the Wurlitzer organ, the whole 9 yards. Really, really neat. The kind of theater that the orange guy would love to go in and redo in a tacky, gaudy sort of way. This reminds me of the Kennedy Center a little bit. Look it up. Maybe you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, I got those, and I got my Star Trek novelizations, which some of them are a little worse for wear, but they're not hideous considering. This is the first one. Star Trek, adapted by James Blish. He basically wrote the novelization, episode tie-ins for the series. Let me see when this was written, when this came out. I've been collecting these my whole life too. Copyright 1967. January 1967. This might actually be a first print. I'm not going to sell it, and it's in, non-mint condition. To Harlan Ellison, who was right all the time. So, There's an episode list. Charlie's Law, which would have been Charlie X, Dagger of the Mind, The Unreal McCoy, Balance of Terror, The Naked Time, Miri, and The Conscience of the King. The Unreal McCoy, 40. I'm curious what episode that is, because that's not the original title of any classic series episode. Bierce's wife, Nancy, had been a serious interest in McCoy's. Okay, so that's the Man Trap. That's what I thought it might be. Just kind of had a hunch. But yeah, I've got 1 through 12 of these. The number 12 is a more recent printing. I say more recent in that it's not from the 60s or 70s. But the others are all the old style. These guys right here. Very, very 60s, 70s kind of style. Yeah, I am that dork. But we got 5 boxes at eBay. She grabbed some clothes and some other things. I grabbed those, some DVDs. I picked up some music CDs. And we pretty much emptied the freezers, which is a good problem to have, but I'm looking forward to getting the other freezer here, the stand-up freezer, so that we can actually figure out what the hell we've got. I'll show you what I mean. Chest freezer. Good problem to have from a having food standpoint, but if you're looking for that one particular item, good luck, because yeah. And the other freezer is pretty much the same kind of situation, but that one's more meat, bread, convenience food. We got like hot dogs, sausages, boxes of corn dogs, stuff like that. But this is pretty much veg and fruit. Again, good problem to have, but there is no room in the inn. Honestly, I didn't realize that there was that much food still there. Good problem to have, again, but you know, we don't have to buy veg for a while, that's for damn sure. It's not a huge variety because there's a lot of basics that we get: spinach, broccoli, California mix, cauliflower. You know, there's some stir fries, some basic, you know, like Asian stir fry mixes. We can use those when we're doing, you know, baked chicken like teriyaki, or if we're really doing like some ramen and dressing it up. We don't just do ramen, we do ramen. Cut up some chicken, some veg, drop a couple eggs in there. You know, it's good. And had a whole bunch of packs of chicken that I'd already like cut and whatnot to turn into meals. Some of them are getting a little not freezer burned, but they will be. So took like 3 big bags of those, and there was a bag of onion and pepper mix, like bell pepper and onion. I threw those in a big 2.5 gallon bag with a bottle of barbecue sauce, and they're in a bucket, basically in a bag in the bucket to keep it from spilling everywhere. And they're just going to sit there and thaw and marinate and think about what they're going to be in their future, which is to say, dinner. Yeah, 3 like big chicken like stuff that I cut into like strips and or like cubes, frozen together. But I don't know if you've ever been in this situation where you find something in the freezer, like typically chicken or turkey or something like that, and you look at it and you're like, I need to use you right now because you're starting to get that texture where next to that freezer burn, you know, it's like, okay. And a marinade, you know, sitting in some kind of fluid will help. Honestly, it'll help disguise if there is any, like, freezer burn starting to rear its ugly head. I've done this with soups before, too, and it tends to mask the fact that she was getting close. You guys okay there? I had some of my toys on my desk here, so like, you're right in front of the camera. Down in the front. But yeah, we got a lot of good things done, you know. Filled the car. We got both the big dry erase boards here. One of them is kind of the fun project board. The other one is like the math board, where typically I keep track of bills and whatnot. I wrote the names of the companies that we were sending money to, you know, like TECO, stuff like that. TECO's Tampa Electric, but we're not going to be a TECO client, you know, in the very near future. I wrote all that in a Sharpie on my dry erase board, which it's not a big deal. I know how to, like, you know, erase Sharpie off a dry erase board. It can be annoying, but I know how to do it. I've got some chemicals that work. I'm going to be resetting my billboard because most of the companies that we, you know, send money to monthly, because, you know, I'm a modern American dude, I get bills every month too. But a lot of the companies are different now. Everything's changed. Yeah, you two knock it off. So I gotta rethink that. I'm not sure where I'm putting it yet either, frankly. I'm gonna get a little bit more coffee. I'm gonna be going to bed here very soon. Shower. Yeah, we got home and there were a couple of bags of veg that were open, like we had used some from them before. So I checked them. A couple of them had already gone home to Jesus, but a couple of them were actually okay, but should use now. So heated those up with some salmon fillets. He had like 2 or 3 bags there. I have 2 or 3 bags here, so we've got salmon from, you know, a month or 2 easily, which is cool. Again, good problem to have. So I made salmon steaks for everybody with an assortment of veg on the side because we had it. Trying to scuttle George and combine resources here. Digging around the pantry for something a little different, something I hadn't made in a while. So we're having some Harry and David pumpkin pecan, which is quite yummy. I did want to look at my music CDs too. She had already brought me a really good assortment of some of my Broadway and some other stuff. She brought me some Alan Parsons, and I still haven't found any of my Queen. That's troubling. That's troubling. I grabbed this just because I thought it was funny. But I have a Muppet Christmas album that I never listened to. So the idea of trying to get in the spirit of holidays, we're not there yet, obviously. It's, just now August, but that's Bowie. Bare Naked Ladies. I love Bare Naked Ladies. The band, but also, got my Styx anthology. I like Styx a lot too. AC/DC. Repo. The reason I'm making sad face is because Tony Head. This may be damaged too. Let's try it out. Good problem to have. Oh wow, yeah, I need to clean that. But yeah. Tony Head. And if you watch Buffy at all, or if you're familiar with Repo, you know the guy. And I know he's done other stuff, but that's what I really know him from. It's not just a board game. Oi! Excuse me a minute. Knock it off, you guys. Again, absolute ass clowns. Some more AC/DC. Because, yeah. Les Mis. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Zero Mostel. Which, this is interesting to me. I don't know if you'll find it interesting or not. But Zero Mostel, very, very famous comedian from the 50s, 60s, going into the 70s. Short, kind of chubby, very funny. Nathan Lane has played like 5 or 6 parts now that Zero Mostel played back in the day. It's like anytime there's a revival of something this guy did, Nathan Lane is in it. The producers, Nathan Lane played Zero Mostel's part. Yeah, he was a complete clown. It's this guy right here. Very funny man. But if you're younger than 30, you probably have never heard of him. Maybe even 40. Hard to say. I'm older than my years, but I'm also younger. It's weird. Little superstar action there. This is one with Ben Vereen as Judas. I love this version. Guys and Dolls. Speaking of Nathan Lane, this was a revival they did in '92 with Peter Gallagher and Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane playing Nathan Detroit. My brain just went away. And Peter Gallagher playing Sky Masterson, which I would love to play that part. City of Angels. Very unusual show. This is the one with Renee Odo. Theater guy. He's gone too now. I know. Some more AC/DC. Yeah. The music for it is pretty cool. The mini-series, The 10th Kingdom, it was like a Hallmark mini-series. Yeah, Hallmark from 2000. If you like modern fantasy crossover stuff, this is a fun miniseries. West Side Story, because yeah. But Diane Wiest, John Larroquette. Really good. A lot of fun. And family friendly. It's like 8 hours of goofy, fairy tale, modern brilliance. It's a lot of fun. Some Blue Man Group action. And this is one that I was like really, really, really hoping I could find undamaged, intact, and without Mei Mei. This is, in my opinion, one of the best albums ever made. I like the band. I love this album. This is one of those albums that if you're allowed to have 5 albums for the rest of your life, this is in my 5. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. It's the whole thing's a rock opera. And the lead singer for Queensryche, Jeff Tate. This is what happens when you get an opera guy to do rock and roll. His vocals are incredible. Incredible. I am not worthy to make his tea. So, I got some music. And I already had some, but trying to bring things over and absorb and make it all work. So I'm like, I'm going to get some of my music. That way, with this nice little boombox over here, when I'm working out here, I can jam. I can jam like a crazy Gen Xer, man. I got my Queensryche and my AC/DC and my Broadway. Drama dork. I didn't grab my Rent because I knew I wouldn't be able to really play it. Kelly has a problem with Rent because Angel's story is very, very similar to the story of someone special in her life. So it reminds her of, actually, that guy. It's her Uncle Richard. Basically was Angel. Was an original, like, mid-late 70s Frankenfurter on stage in front of the movie screen. Very gay, very out of the closet, and died of AIDS. So Rent hits her more than it hits most people. It's already a heavy show in its own, but for her it becomes personal. So I can't listen to Rent with her around. She didn't come see the show, which saddens me because she's always very supportive of what I do. It saddened me, but I also get it, you know? I wanted her there. I wanted her to see the show, but I know why she didn't, you know? I know why she didn't. I mean, she told me, you know, I'm not going to come see it. I can't. So, I get it. Yeah, coming over to me to whine under me? Nope. Not into it. You're not even my dog. I don't understand it. It's very strange. Sammy's like, he like tries to attach himself to me almost. Not like, you know, not like that. The AI on YouTube just went, okay, do I ban this video? Or what is he, did he just have a seizure? What was that? I don't understand. I'm not well. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with that. But yeah, he likes to be right next to me and I mean, we know each other, but picks his dog. It's very strange. And I know she's not a dog person exactly, but this has happened before. I have had friends' dogs who have tried to, like, leave their place to come with me before. Because I am kind of that dog person. Like, you've been great, but I like this guy. I'm going with him. You know. It's that situation again, isn't it? I've also had ferocious guard dogs that the owner was like, if he comes near you, he's going to bite you. Careful, careful. He's going to try and bite you. That just, became slobbering messes. Oh, those moments. Like, okay, he doesn't do that with anybody. He's been trained to hurt people. Why is he cuddling with you? Did I mention my last name was Wolf King? Cousin? How Darwinian do you want to go? Did talk to the other neighbor, or the other neighbor's significant other at least, that was interested in the house, and let them know, because they were like, I haven't seen you in a while, you okay, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I've been at my parents' place. Kind of gave them the whole run through the story real quick. And they were like, wow, that's a lot to deal with. And we're like, yeah. And I said, so I think you guys were interested in buying the place. We're about at that place where we're going to be starting to put it up for market. And he was like, okay. I think it was kind of okay, I wasn't ready for this conversation, but noted, and let me get with my other half, and okay, you don't need an answer this second, which is good, but we'll talk. It's kind of the gist that I got. We'll see. And again, if we spend the next year fixing the place up and selling it at, a retail price, so to speak, okay. I really wanted to skip some steps. I didn't have to want to go through, that's so good. I didn't want to have to go through all that. Keeping track of a contractor, getting stuff fixed, one system at a time, basically. Plumbing. Okay, this next group, they're going to work on the electrical. Okay, now we got to get the siding done. I don't have to do any of that. But they may actually say, okay, yeah, here's our offer. Is that acceptable? And if it is, okay. The other guy's going to, cry, because if they get it with the work they're going to put into it and everything, he's not getting it. Ever. That's the thing. The property, it's pretty rough right now, but I got 2 people that in some way, shape, or form want it. That's a good problem to have, but I do need one of them to actually, be a grown-up and actually offer grown-up prices. I'll give you $29.97. No, it's a house on a 1/4 acre. The house is rough, but that doesn't mean, yeah. And I'm asking about half of what it would be if the house were there and functional and all that. I'm asking basically half of what that sale price would be. Because you're going to have to put in, 40 to 100,000 to get it where it needs to be. And if I have to do that, then I'm charging full price. And if either one of them wants it, they can pay me full price at that point. Or anyone else on the open market can. I really wanted to skip those steps, though. With everything else that we're doing, are going to be doing, really, And I don't have fleas. Apparently I have static electricity though. Okay. I was touching that ball with the lightning in it, and my hair started to do weird things. Tired. Got a lot done. So I'm going to be going to bed here. It's 11-ish. Got mom call in the morning, which is cool. I get to be in mom call again. And going forward. It's cool. It's cool. Missed that for like a year, you know. My one remaining parental figure that gives good advice and isn't batshit crazy. It's been a long 3 years. I still feel like I'm going to get that phone call. I am going to get that phone call. Just a matter of when. I can hear the other shoe. You know. I'm going to go ahead and call it and enjoy my coffee. Pumpkin Pecan, Harry and David. Still not paid sponsor or anything like that. Just sharing good coffee. Harry and David. Not incredibly pricey, but if you like some good bean juice. And if you've got an Ollie's in your area, they frequently get some Harry and David. Not always, it's not a guarantee, but often. And if they have it, it's usually in like a beige bag, very like old school, nondescript. Yeah, baby, it's good. It's good stuff. You can find it online too. I'm starting to see that it's becoming more available again. There was a little while there where everybody was out of stock. It was very, very strange. Very strange. Anyway. I'm going to drink my coffee and play with my toys, and I'm going to go... Christopher Eccleston just became David Tennant. How did that happen? What is this? Who is this man? It was a thing. I understood what was going on, but the 2005 revival, you know. Anyway, regeneration. I've been watching Doctor Who since 1982, so I've seen this happen. But I know there were people actually that asked me back in 2005. They were like, "Okay, what just happened?" Because I don't quite get it. But you've been watching Doctor Who for a while, so huh? Okay, Time Lords, Gallifreyans. Here's something. One of the cheating death things that they have, that they built into their DNA, literally. And I had to explain it. It's all good. I'm a teacher by nature, so it's cool. Alright. So, hug your parents, hug your kids, work your list, enjoy good coffee, good music. You're allowed to. Unless your doctor says otherwise. Make it a great day.